Thank you so much. She's wonderful, right?
Very much.
She's amazing. Look at that. All right. The issue of famine in South Sudan and the rest of the world is already well known. You can read about it. Most importantly, however, is that the government of Canada pledged to match or to double your dollars if you make a donation to a Canadian charity that has initiatives towards famine relief. And you have until June 30th to do that, so you have about a week from now. And if you are, of course, watching at home, maybe later on Facebook or something, you still have time to donate using the link provided. And when I heard about the initiative, the pledge by the government, I approached my friend Nadine at Batuki Music Society and said, well, let's take advantage of this window of opportunity for Canadians to demonstrate that they care about famine victims in South Sudan. And it so occurred that Small World Music as well was thinking about the victims of war in South Sudan and doing something. And so they donated or offered us this state-of-the-art facility to use for free. Give it up for them. And of course, before I proceed further, I would like to thank as well my wonderful volunteers, our MC, for example, Emmanuel. Give it up to Emmanuel. And her sister is at the door helping us take donations. So that's amazing. I appreciate what you're doing for your people back in South Sudan. And I appreciate the presenters and speakers that have so far performed and that will come and speak or perform, because they're doing, again, something amazing for our people back in South Sudan. Now, we are here, as I said, therefore, to make donations and help victims of war. War as well, of famine in South Sudan. And all donations will go to a Canadian charity called Samaritan's Purse, which is, to my knowledge, involved with South Sudanese in and outside of the country, and I've known this for at least the last 5 years. Right now, for example, Samaritan's Purse is on the ground in the refugee camp in Uganda, where thousands of South Sudanese refugees are said to come in every single day. As a matter of fact, it's now the biggest refugee settlement in the world, unfortunately. Now, this is not just about any one organization, for there are many of them that are doing similar things to help our people back in South Sudan. And we appreciate what they're doing for our people. Nor is it about a single individual's effort. There is a Swahili saying that haba na haba hujaza kibaba, which means a little bit here and a little bit there will eventually fill the pot. We have a big empty pot, and ladies and gentlemen, every single bit counts. You don't appreciate what you have until you lose it. I went to the refugee camp after I had lost my dad in Nairobi, Kenya, and couldn't pay for my school, as she said. And I moved from living in the lovely city of Nairobi to spending a year and a half in the refugee camp in Kakuma in Kenya. Now I have friends here. One of them is in our presence, who have spent pretty much their entire childhoods in the refugee camp, where we sometimes lined up for a whole day in sweltering heat just to receive a handful of flour, lentils, and some oil. The same thing each time. And with nothing to do, every day was Groundhog Day. But my Groundhog Days came to an end when I finally received the chance to come and study at the University of Toronto, a chance made possible by the contributions of simple Canadian students who showed that they cared. Our objective for this campaign is just $5,000. And you may say, well, what can that do? $5,000 can easily be the much needed intervention that will save a family that's suffering the consequences of famine. And so to somebody that is suffering from famine, nothing is just a drop in the bucket. Everything is potentially a drop of life. So make your donations. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Next we have James Maskolik. Did I say it right?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, thank you. James is a physician and author, both of the internet.